What's going on, guys? Jan Moses here from Broth Cindy, bringing you another NBA 2K22 Broth Talk podcast episode number 3. Harry is here, took some time out of his day following a thrilling double overtime win by our New York Knickerbockers against Boston. Harry, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Like you said, that was a crazy game. I'm still like mentally, trying to get over that, but it was a fun game. I'm glad to be back on the podcast. I
Uh,
was telling you before, like sometimes I'll put the podcast on in the background because I enjoy listening to it. I feel like it's such an easy listen. So yeah, I'm glad to be on it once again.
Good. Well, I'm happy to have you. And to all the people that are clamoring for a Moments Jalen Brown, I would just like to first and foremost say, get effed. Moments Evan Fournier coming tomorrow instead, hopefully. So, with that being said, we're going to recap season 1, which is going to be ending in less than 48 hours. And we're going to preview season 2 and talk about things that we really like and maybe some things that we don't like. Um, but to start season 1, I want to first ask you, Harry, even though I know the answer to this question, but our viewers may not. Did you get to level 40 and get Carmelo Anthony?
I did get Carmelo Anthony. I'm really happy about that. As I mentioned in the first podcast, Carmelo Anthony is my favorite basketball player of all time. Even watching him on the Lakers, I get so happy just because it brings back that Knicks nostalgia from back in the day. So if I don't know. I don't really see myself grinding to level 40 often, but if there was one card I would do it for, it would be Melo to get him on my team.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. This Melo card is incredible. I think even though the both of us didn't really play I mean, I didn't play my team at all really last year till the end of the year casually, but we didn't play my team actively like we are now last year at this time. And I remember seeing a lot of people on Reddit, just from me casually searching the subreddit last year, talking about how upset they were because they missed Pink Diamond Steph Curry, who was the season 1 level 40 reward. And I didn't want to miss out on this Melo either because even though Melo may not be my favorite Nick of all time, he's one of my favorites. I love Melo. I love what he did for us, in his time with the Knicks, and there was no chance I was going to miss out on getting this card. I have him up right now on the screen. I love Melo. He's, I think right now, probably still the best player in the game. You can at least make an argument, at least like top 2 or 3, but I mean, I think ratings wise, he's probably still the best. I think at 96 overall. Now, the level grind for me was pretty tedious. I felt like they showed by the end of the season that it really wasn't that difficult to get it if you did get on, every day or every couple of days and actively try to, participate in the new, I guess we'll call them promos for now, and buy the cheaper players, rent them, do their agendas, and then sell them back. Harry, what are your thoughts on the level grind? Do you share my level of frustration with how hard it was at times, or did you feel like it really wasn't that bad?
Yeah, I'm definitely on your side, and I think what made it harder for us was because we didn't really play 2K21, so we've never. This was like the first time that both of us really sat down to attempt to get to level 40. So
Hmm.
I think there was a lot of like just not knowing how 2K would pace out XP, or like I was very. I don't know. I don't know about you. I was very stressed, not stressed, but like I was nervous throughout the entire XP grind, even knowing that I was ahead of most people throughout the entire course of grinding, because even looking at it from the sense of, all right, how much XP do I need per day to get to that 150K was a lot. So I think now that I can look back in retrospect and see that it's not that bad, I look at it a little different than I did before. But nonetheless, I really do not see myself grinding for this again. Like I'm listen. I have no regrets over getting Melo. Like you said, I think he is still the best card in the game.
Hmm.
But I did it for Melo. I love Melo, so I do it for him. And it's like, but the both of us really don't have much time to really play for like 6 to 8, 8 hours a day or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So for me to only get on and grind XP, I think really took a lot of fun out of the game. I still love the game. Like I have like the highest of praise for 2K22, but at least for me there was a different sense of fun where it's like, all right, I got to go on. I got to do my dailies. I got to do my weekends. My weekend and my weekly, XP things, which isn't the most fun at times. So I think I'm really excited to kind of, not focus as much on XP and kind of just enjoy everything about the game.
Yeah, I totally agree. Um, Now, when it comes to the game modes, I want to personally start with limited because neither of us really played unlimited for Wilt. I know you played unlimited for James Harden, and you love him. I know James Harden's been talked about a lot on various different channels and on the My Team subreddit. We all know how good that James Harden is, and Harry is one of the best dribblers that I've played against in like my team career. He's just disgusting with the way he can cross you up and sauce you up. So I try to avoid playing Harry as much as I can. So we're not going to touch on unlimited that much. I did want to ask you, Harry, about limited because you do have that Pink Diamond D book. I wanted to know what are your thoughts on the limited grind in season one on D book, and do you think the grind was worth it for him?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was definitely worth it, but I also see that from a negative point of view where it was like I thought it was a very easy grind. I think there was like two or three out of, the 6 weekends or whatever when I played one game and I got a ring. So honestly, it's like the mellow. When I look at that mellow, I am so proud. I have pride in how much effort I put into getting this card.
Mm-hmm.
When I look at the Booker, I'm really happy I got the Booker. I'm not really a Devin Booker fan on 2K, but I'm having a lot of fun using that card. But when I look at him, I don't really feel that I don't feel that accomplished because it was such an easy, way too easy grind in my opinion. I think they need to stretch it out. In my personal opinion, I'd rather them do it where it's like you need like 10, 15 wins, not like, oh, maybe I'll get it one game, maybe I'll get it another game. I think it also adds kind of a stress to it where it's like you play a full game and then you don't get him, and like the rewards outside of the rings aren't that great. So it's like, did I waste my time doing that? Now I got to play another game or whatever. But it really was not a hard grind, and I did like parts of it. I really thought it was cool how it gives you the opportunity to try out new players, make new lineups, because so you're not just running that same lineup every day or whatever it is. So I thought it was a really cool thing. I looked forward to doing it every weekend because, like I said, it wasn't that many wins. So I think there's positives and negatives to it. But yeah, overall, I'm super glad I got the Devin Booker, and I cannot wait to do it again next season.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it, offline, but and by offline I mean like outside of this medium, this podcast. But I kind of want to play limited maybe a little bit next season. I'm not necessarily in love with John Moran, and we'll talk about season two more in depth a little bit later in this episode. But one thing that I think I did not know about that I just found out about towards the end of this season and made me in a way kind of regret not participating more in limited is the fact that even if you don't get all 6 rings for the Devin Booker card, there are rewards that you can get incrementally along the way. And I don't mean like you pulling like random cards on the way to getting a ring each weekend. I mean, as you're accumulating rings, like at 1 ring, you get a deluxe league pack, which is nothing. But at 2 rings, you get 25 tokens. At 3, you get a diamond shoe pack, I think, whatever this is. At 4 rings, you get a diamond contract. And at 5, you get a Hall of Fame badge pack. Like, that's really good. Even if you miss a weekend, you're not getting completely shafted if you don't get all 6 rings. Like, yeah, it sucks if you're grinding for the pink diamond to not get it, but if you're just playing limited because you wanted the Hall of Fame badge, that's awesome. Like you're still making out, like you're getting what you wanted. So I think that's really cool actually, and I'm looking forward to playing that. The next one I want to touch on is draft mode. I uploaded a video, I believe last weekend, where I took advantage of the 250K tournament by playing less sweats in draft mode. I went 10-1, and that was my second full draft run, my second draft run where I got to 10 wins, and I got lucky enough to pack Glenn Robinson. I love him. Have not used him online yet, but an offline play that releases cash. Um, I think that the draft is fun, but I kind of want to play with my players more. So like I know my goal or my plan going into next season is I want to participate more in unlimited and limited and triple threat online. And we'll talk about that again later on. But I want to talk to you, Harry, because as lucky as I guess I could say I got getting Glenn Robinson on my second run, you've gone through 6 full draft runs and have not packed Glenn Robinson. So heading into season two, and the reward for season two is George Gervin, the Iceman, I believe. What's your feelings towards draft? How'd you feel about it in season one? And do you think you'll play it in season two?
Yeah, I can remember playing Unlimited, in like the first like couple weeks of 2K and getting absolutely demolished by that Glenn Robinson. And I
Mm-hmm.
said to myself, I was like, you know what? I can't wait till I get that Glenn Robinson. I'm gonna do what that guy did to me. I'm gonna do that to other people. And I figured, you know what? Maybe I did the draft a few times. I didn't get him. I kept the positivity going. I was like, I'll do it again. I can't go 4 times and not get the Glenn Robinson. Little did I know, I would complete the draft 6 times and not get that Glenn Robinson.
Unbelievable.
And I'm back and forth because after all that, I really don't want to play the draft again. Like I'm not gonna lie, it's such a hard, crushing feeling playing 10 games. It's 10 games, not that much, but to do that all and not get the Glenn Robinson after, you get your hopes up after every win. You're like, all right, I'm getting closer. Maybe I'll get the card. But on the positive side, I got every time I did it, I would say I would probably make around like 40 to 50k MT from doing it. I would make like 50, 60 tokens. So I think if it wasn't for that aspect, I would not be as like, I guess optimistic as I am because, even though I am upset I didn't get the card, there wasn't a time where I walked out and I said this wasn't a complete waste of time. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
always got good rewards, and I didn't really play much of Domination, so, any token I can get, I was happy. So I was happy I was able to get some cool tokens. I'm probably going to do it next year. I mean, next season. I know I said I probably won't, but I'll probably end up doing it.
Okay.
But yeah, I kind of have positives and negatives because I really do not like how random the rewards are. But I also like how rewarding it can be. Even MT, you can get a lot of diamond contracts, diamond shoes, diamond boost, and a bunch of other cool things. So yeah, I am disappointed. I am super jealous that you got the Glenn Robinson, but that's about it, I guess.
Okay. I mean, I agree with everything that you said. The RNG nature of it is definitely very annoying. And speaking of RNG, before we get on to the promos that we got in my team in season one, I want to just quickly touch base on Triple Threat offline and the online, just the rewards in general. I know that Harry and I were kind of critical about the Triple Threat online 100, and the way that the point system worked, how you were basically eating points and getting penalized almost for winning a high-scoring game against a quality opponent, which really sucked. And we'll get to that again in season two, where they've rectified that, and I think Harry and I are both very happy about it. Harry, do you have any thoughts that you have on the Triple Threat offline and online reward players, namely, I guess, Ron Boone, Dampier from offline, and then ML Carr and Gus Gerard in online?
Yeah, offline I really like. I actually did get that boon after I think 40 wins, which I am very lucky because it seems like people have grinded the entire 300 wins and did not get him. I
Mm-hmm.
really love that boon card. He has like that Paul George release in the game, which is so nice, and he's a really fun card to use. Triple Threat Online, I'm just not a fan. Like I really don't want to come out bitter about it, but it's like the reason I didn't really care about the 100 idea, even though I didn't like it in the beginning, is because to me game mode in my team doesn't exist for me. Like the rewards to me are not that great. Like the way they did the 100 this year was not that great. I mean, we'll talk about it later. They did update it, which is so much better. But like you said, the fact that you would get penalized for losing and how hard it was to remain in the 100 without fully losing all your points. And even if you do make it past the 100, the odds of you dropping the ball and getting one of the good players, or even the odds of that whatever diamond player it is, the odds of him even appearing is pretty rare. So for me, I don't even look at that game. It's a dead game mode for me. I think I even brought this up a while ago. I was like, if they made Triple Threat Online, offline, the same structure of you get wins, 40 wins you get that, 60 wins you get that, it would be the most fun game mode, and it would be such a rewarding game mode. I don't know, at least in my opinion, I don't know why anyone would even bother trying to grind it. Unless, I mean, it's been the same crappy rewards for, 2-3 years now. You get 100 tokens or whatever, or not 100, 100 MT, you get one token in the vault. It's all these rewards that are just unnecessary. I would rather grind the draft at that point. Even if I'm not getting the Glenn Robinson, I'd rather do that, play 10 games, and get some pretty cool token and MT rewards. I don't know if you feel a similar way, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a very valid opinion. I think I'm a little less critical of Triple Threat Online, and I think it basically comes to user experience too. I feel like Deuces, who we play, my team with routinely, he's very anti Triple Threat Online. I think mainly, well, besides the rewards, mainly because of the competition that he's faced. Not that he's playing good opponents, he's playing toxic opponents where he'll beat them and then they'll leave him on the pause screen for the full 3 minutes, or they'll put their mic in and they'll talk shit. Where I haven't really had that experience that often. Like I'm 29-8 in Triple Threat Online this season, and I felt like I'm not even that good of an online player yet. And it's not like you need to be a good online player to win Triple Threat Online. It's very, very gimmicky. But I agree with you. The rewards have to get better. I mainly played it because I wanted to get the ML car. I did not get ML car. I also did not get the Ron Boone or the Louis Dampier, and I really wanted Dampier. The Ron Boone's also fantastic too. But I did get Gus Gerard a couple nights ago, and I like him. He's going to be my backup power forward. And in that regard, I do kind of like it. I also got lucky and I got like a couple of colossal packs out of it. So I've had a good experience with the rewards, even though the rewards in general are crappy. So I'm a little more bullish on it than you are. But I agree with you. They have to improve the rewards, which I doubt they will because they're going to make it easier to get to the top tier with the changes that we will talk about later. So with that said, I want to quickly get to the promos that we got and other updates that they made to the game. I want to first quickly, before we get to any of the player packs that we got, I want to get your opinion, Harry, on the Daryl Griffith lifetime, because where is it? There it is. Because I'll tell you, I did not participate in it. Like I have two of his agendas done, and that was just because I did it coincidentally. I had no interest in that Daryl Griffith. I felt like some of the things that they wanted us to do, such as scoring 75 points over multiplayer games and then winning the triple threat online games, five of them with three Jazz players, was just brutal. I just did not want to do that at all. Like I played someone last night in Triple Threat Online or 2 nights ago in Triple Threat Online who had three Jazz players, and I had my Pink Diamond Mello, my Pink Diamond Glenn, and I hate to admit it, but I had to use up his contract because they gave us a Giannis free agent pack, and I had one contract left on my Giannis free agent. So I took the Giannis free agent along with my Pink Diamond Mello and my Pink Diamond Glenn Robinson, and I embarrassed that dude, and it wasn't his fault, but he had Ruby, Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, and then Ruby Daryl Griffith. He stood no chance. So it's like that stuff, if I was playing, would dissuade me from wanting to play Triple Threat Online. So I am not a fan of the Daryl Griffith agenda. I wanted to ask you what you thought about the lifetime reward Daryl Griffith really quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really attempt to even get him. I don't even know what is required. Or he can go up to a diamond, right? Am I
Yeah,
correct?
92 overall diamond, correct.
Yeah, well, so I only get players on my team that I like in real life or that I care to play with, and he just isn't one of them. I think he's a cool diamond, and I will say, I can't really say much on the like what you had to do because I didn't really care to look at it.
Yeah.
But I will say that I think it is really cool that 2K has been adding like things like that, like agendas for like getting even the Amethyst Harden or the Daryl Griffith, like cool things like that that
Hmm.
2K never used to do. So I think from a positive perspective, I think it is cool that they're adding so like different things throughout the entire season that we can grind for. I think it really should be done more, like
Yeah.
Madden kind of does it. But overall, big steps in the right direction. I think from previous years.
Yeah, I totally agree. And the last thing I want to quickly touch on, because I think it is a good positive, like Harry said, yesterday we got the DeAndre Jordan lifetime agenda, and I think it's really cool. I'm going to grind that out on Friday once we have other agendas and our levels are reset to zero, so that I can hopefully grind some levels as I'm doing DeAndre Jordan's agendas. And I think that this DJ is a really nice center card to have as well. I want to try to quickly move along through these promos. I don't really know if there's anything I really want to touch on. Um, when it comes to the promos, we had a couple of interesting ones. We've been getting the primetime ones every Tuesday. I feel like for the most part, the primetime promos really haven't given us anyone of note up until I think it was last week we got the Grant Hill who's a really, really good small forward. Some people argue that he's just as good as Melo. Primetime gave us some good budget players like Emmanuel Quickly, who I think the both of us really like, both in real life and in this game. In our last episode, we spoke about the flash that we got with the Dikembe, and we were worried that maybe he would be a little game breaking. I think we can both agree now that he really wasn't that game breaking. Um, I think the better way to go about this, instead of going through all these promos, because there are a couple I do want to hit on. Harry, do you have a favorite promo from season one that you can remember?
Hmm, that is an interesting. I really like the Dunktober number
Yes, that was my
one.
favorite as well.
There was a bunch of budget players I really liked, like that Cameron Reddish and the Donovan Mitchell, which I just remembered. I want to get him at some point because I had so much fun grinding XP for him. I'm trying to think. There's a bunch of other players like the
Yeah,
Gary Harris.
Gary Harris is the best
The,
player in that set for me. I love Gary Harris. He's so good. He's
yeah,
my starting
yeah.
shooting
So
guard.
I'm probably forgetting people. I really like that set, and I also really liked using the flash players, especially I think at least for me, I know you were a fan of Quickly. For me, my favorite player to use or budget wise, it was Duncan Robinson.
Oh,
That card
absolutely.
is so much fun. I can see myself using that card for like limited if I need like a low overall card in like season 4. That card is he can do everything. That release is so cash. I'm really hoping that 2K can copy his like shot and put it on a new player that they add at some point in the year. But yeah, so I think that's a really cool topic to talk about because I really did enjoy that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can think of. Oh, there are some players I really liked in the Colossal set. The
Hmm.
Damian Lillard is amazing. It
Yeah.
seems like every draft I did, I always somehow got him. So he was a really fun card to use. Anthony Edwards, another really good card. The Ginobili, which I didn't think I'd like so much, but I really did like him. The Michael Porter Jr. was another big card I really liked. His super great release, a really just fast, adaptable, he can do everything card. And
Absolutely.
that's about it. What about you? I'd like to know what your favorite players were.
Sure. I mean, so I really enjoyed the Colossal set was great, and I think coming out with that set off the bat was great because you had what Danny Granger I believe was a reward, and there were so many usable players that are still viable, like Michael Porter, great budget card, like you said. Same with Cade Cunningham. I thought he had one of the better releases to start off the year. That Darren Williams is still like a really good point guard in this game,
Yep.
like
Yep.
very, very good. Ray Allen has one of the best releases in this game. And then you have Dame Lillard and LaMelo Ball in this set as well.
And
Two players.
Lamelo too. Lamelo is so much fun. Yep.
So much fun. And that Pascal Siakam is like sneaky good too. So a lot of
Yep.
very, very good cards that I like in that set. I personally, like you, I loved the Dunktober set. I mean, on top of the players that you mentioned, again, I want to shout out Gary Harris. He's my starting shooting guard just because he fits what I need at the two so much. He plays defense incredibly well, and he's Hall of Fame catch and shoot. I don't need my two guard to attack off the dribble. I see him to catch and shoot. That's his only offense. That's all I
Yep.
require
Yep.
of him. He's great. Other players that you did not mention in that set that I love, Lou Dort. I'm a huge Lou Dort fan. Like I just think he's such a good defender, and that card
Yep.
is cracked on defense. He will be
No,
coming
he
with
really
me.
is. He really is.
He is, and he'll be coming with me into Domination on Friday on that grind for Amari. He's great. I really like, even though I don't have him, that Josh Smith is such a good defender at the 4. So good. But one of my favorite players in that set is someone I haven't even used in game yet, but I added a couple of days ago, and that's Diamond Nikola Jokic. And I bought him, and he's my starting center, and he goes against a lot of what I believe in as my center, which is I want defense and I want rebounding. And he does not play defense very well. But what does he bring to the table? He brings to the table a center who has Hall of Fame dimer and a lot of other really good badges, including I think Hall of Fame post playmaker, bullet passer, and needle threader. So as someone who doesn't really like to, three hunt, who doesn't really like to shoot off the dribble, I like to run plays. I like to involve my bigs. I like to work in the post. If I get a mismatch with Jokic, you're screwed because if
Yep.
you double him, I can kick it out and I'll have a good shot at getting a green release. And if I don't get doubled, I'm pretty good in the post this year, at least so far, like with drop stepping, post fading, and all that kind of stuff. That's what I used to do in the old 2K. So I'm bringing my old boomer skills into 2K this year, and I think Jokic is going to be great at all that. So this was my favorite set. I think we can both agree on what our least favorite promo was in season one, and that was the limited. And I think
Oh yeah.
it comes to the pack prices, and I think this is a pretty good segue into something I know you wanted to talk about, Harry, because you reached out to me when I sent you the agenda, and you were like, I really want to talk about this. So Harry, the floor is yours. What is the thing that you wanted to talk about?
Okay, so, although I have mentioned things I don't like about 2K over the past, however long we've been doing this podcast, if there is one thing, I can accept all those things, I can adapt, but if there's one thing that really, as people say, grinds my gears, it would be how 2K has been releasing these packs. There are so many things I'm not a fan of, starting with the pack prices, they're way too high. No one needs to be spending an insane amount of or VC on packs, you know what I mean? And the odds, the fact that not only do they tell you how much, I mean, not only are they showing you how much you're spending on these packs, but they're also telling you how bad the odds are. So it's literally like 2K is such at a point where they know you're opening packs, they can tell you that there is a 2% chance that you are going to pull the best player, and you're still going to open packs. You know what I mean? It blows my mind. But to go into other things I don't really like about the packs, one, and this has nothing to do with this, but I hate how 2K has been releasing these cards. Something we talked in the first or the second podcast in season one was you brought up an amazing point that I didn't even think about, was that 2K released a point guard diamond Chris Paul, and then a few days later on that Friday did a diamond Derrick Rose. Like, there's no need,
Mm-hmm.
especially for a card like Chris Paul, Chris Paul is a card where it's going to die out eventually. The hype will go down. Why are you just immediately throwing away that hype? And why is it okay for someone to go out of their way to get a diamond Chris Paul, get really excited that they have one of the best point guards in the game, for a Derrick Rose, an even better card, to come out only a few days later? It just doesn't make sense. And like, I don't really buy cards day one, so I'm not worried about me, but for me it kind of ruins like the vibe of cards coming out, where it's like I don't even care, because for all I know, in a couple days a better card will come out in that same position. So I really wish that 2K had planned out their cards better, because it really just feels like, in my opinion, they're just waking up one day, oh, Derrick Rose would be cool, let's do him, like, without any thought on if it would make any logical or rational sense. And lastly, I'm probably forgetting a few other things I don't like, but mainly, and this is like, oh, the at the top of my list, I don't like how 2K has been skipping tiers for cards. Like, as mentioned in the first couple podcasts, I'm a huge component of keeping the low overalls in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
just so the longevity of 2K can last longer. It's more fun. It's more hype when these cards come out. So for me, it didn't make sense for, even in the beginning, to release a Diamond LeBron. I get that it's a Heat LeBron, but it's like, why are we even doing that when you could have done a Ruby LeBron, and that would have been a cool card? But they've already set such a high standard of releasing these OP cards. It's like 2K, they feel like they can't go lower. And another example is they released a Pink Diamond Westbrook. Not just any Pink Diamond Westbrook, a Pink Diamond Laker Westbrook. They could have released a Pink Diamond Thunder Westbrook. They could have released a Pink Diamond Wizards Westbrook. Why would they do Lakers? Why are we wasting an opportunity to do a moment's Westbrook when he ends up having a really good game, which we know will probably happen soon? To me,
Mm-hmm.
it's like they're not putting thought into it, and it totally debunks the entire purpose of having moments cards, which is something that really excites me. Like, even watching this Knicks game tonight and seeing all these players going off, I'm thinking about the moments cards involved. And for 2K to just skip these tiers and release all these players that they could have released a lot later, to me, doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry if I'm going on such a huge ramble, but this is like
No,
the
it's
one
good.
thing that I really wish they would fix.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think their pacing at times has been decent, and then there have been times, like you mentioned, with the point guards where it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, because before even that Chris Paul release that we spoke about before, I think we had Darren Williams, and I
The
think
Darren Williams,
somewhere in
yeah,
between there we had Diamond Steve Nash come out as well.
like,
So we
yeah.
have, like, I was just looking at the Diamond point guards. We have like four Diamond point guards that have come out, I think, in that span of time, which was like what, 2 weeks. It's too many at one time. But
I mean, listen, I'm not even a fan of doing 2 promos a week. I think that is too much. It doesn't even especially if you're doing one on Tuesday and another one on Friday, it's like there's barely enough time to even grind the XP for those other promos. I feel like they need to let more time in, but I'll tell you why they're doing it is because they're going all the way up to Dark Matter cards, which I think is so pointless and it leads to so many duplicate cards. Why not cut it at Pink Diamond or if they really want to, Galaxy Opal? I know they want us to spend money on packs all year, but if, like I said, if the entire theme was we're going to release rubies, go to amethyst, go to diamonds, and then pink diamonds, there would be hype around a ruby LeBron coming out or a ruby KD coming out because those would be the best players in the game. But so it's like I just brought up a great point where people would still be spending money. They can add more cards, and 2K does not do that. So I feel like there's no rationale in how they're doing it now.
I agree. I'll quickly share something that has kind of bothered me because you touched on promos, and we're running a little long on the season one part, but it's okay. We'll make up for it in season two, I'm sure. Um, I have a big issue with calling pack releases promos. I just hate that so much because coming from playing Madden the previous, even though I didn't play last year, the 2, 3 years before that, a promo to me included new players that would come in the form of, you can get them through packs, you can get them through playing solos, you can get them through completing sets, and those sets found ways to helped you find ways to make coins in MUT. There were so many ways to engage in a promo that didn't involve opening your wallet. And that's unfortunately, for the most part, what we have to do in my team. And it's been the same way for as long as I know. I mean, them giving us one solo challenge where if you complete the challenge, you get a pack, and that pack isn't even a deluxe pack usually. I'm pretty sure like you can get like base set players in their packs. Like I remember, I think I did like the whatever it was for LeBron. I think it was 6 series with LeBron and Wade. I think I pulled like an Emerald Kobe Bryant, and it's like he's not even in the set. But whatever, it is what
Okay,
it
can I
is.
quickly throw in a counter argument?
Sure.
Okay, so I get what you're saying. There is so much more to do during promos on Madden, but if you also keep in mind that not only are they doing packs, they're also doing XP things, and in addition, they're also putting these players that are pullable in packs into the draft where you can use them to get to your 10 wins. I feel like that is somewhat more of extra bonuses that go outside of only releasing packs.
Oh no, it is. It is. I mean, you're completely right. I agree with you. I just think for me, it would be nice if they did give us more than just like the only set we have in every game. For example, is like you complete the set and you get the set reward master. Where like, for example, in MUT, you could turn in 3 lower tier elites, for example, from the promo to have a shot at like a higher overall. Like you can turn in 381 to 83s, you get like an 86 plus. I would love to have something like that where we have so much pack trash. Like you look at this like this most recent set or drop with the limiteds, where you had Jalen Suggs and like Kobe White, these players that were like like 1,000 MT or less. If you could find a way to like turn those into some sort of value, so that you're not just like ripping packs and being like, oh, I ripped a box and I pulled 15, Sapphire and Ruby cards that are going for less than 1K MT. If you could find a way to make them a little more valuable, that would be awesome, to me. But, you know, I agree with the whole agenda thing. I do think that is really nice, and that is much better than where they were in 2K17. I still feel like they could do more. But I do think that overall, though, I would say I enjoyed season one. And I think you did too. Well, I mean, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like I might have gone a little too hard on the packs, but like that's like the only thing that really makes me mad. Like I have complained about other things but I also keep in mind that no game is perfect. This game is so much better than, I think it's the best 2K in my opinion in terms of gameplay, content, which is so much better than previous years. This is the most fun I've had on a 2K in so long. So if I have to adapt to the packs and learn to not complain about it, it's what I'll need to do because besides that, I'm having fun doing everything else.
Good. I think that's awesome. So, with that being said, I think we'll transition to season two, and we kind of spoke about the Triple Threat Online a little bit, so I don't want to talk about it too much more. I don't want to lead with that as much because of that, but I want to just quickly say, so we can just drop it completely. The change that they made that we kind of talked about before is now whenever you win a game in TT Online, the amount of points you allowed does not count against your 100, which is potentially huge if they improve the rewards a little bit and give us maybe more MT, more tokens, maybe better pack drops in terms of like the consumables, maybe updating the promo pack so it's not just like colossal for the entire season. Maybe they update it every Friday with the new promo pack. That would be cool. Just like little things like that. But it's just really great in theory because now more people will be able to get to the top tier rewards. And if you enjoy playing TT online, like I am currently, I know Harry's not, Deuce is kind of on the fence on it. But I think it is a pretty good change. And I know you shared your thoughts on TT Online. Do you have anything else you want to share before I go to Unlimited? Because I'm sure you want to talk about that.
Yeah, no, last comment. Like, I am super impressed that 2K is fixing something that 2K has complained about in making it so you can win games and they won't take points away because 2K can have a habit sometimes of waiting and waiting and waiting to fix it. So super happy that 2K is making an attempt to fix it, make the community happy, and that's all there is to say.
Awesome. Harry, I'm going to let you take over the unlimited win requirement change because as eager as I am now to play unlimited, I know this is something you've been clamoring about, the 12 and 0 for unlimited needed at the end of your run and how ridiculous it is because even if you're going on a hot streak, the servers can screw with you. Now I believe you have 16 games to win 12. What's your thought in general with everything related to unlimited changes coming to season two?
Yeah, I love it. I have nothing but praise. I mean, I remember when they added even the 12 and 0 in 2K19, where there was no unlimited. It was only go 12 and 0, and that was it. And I hated it because it's like they're kind of training our minds that we need to be perfect in order to get a reward, which is so just unrealistic and just I think unnecessary. And to stress, it's not because it's not even fun at that point. It's like you're literally stressing yourself and sweating and sweating and sweating to win games and go undefeated. It doesn't make any sense. So I'm so happy because I cannot wait. I think if there's one thing I'm excited for in season two, it's the grind unlimited because now the 12 and 4 now that we can lose 4 games makes it so much better.
I totally agree. I mean, I'm very excited to play it. I guess we can mention the rewards for these players. I don't think they mentioned the triple threat online and offline reward players, right? I don't think they did. Um, but we know the rewards for certain game modes. So since we're talking about unlimited, we can mention it. I think. Actually, I forgot who unlimited was. Oh no, it's Gary Payton. It's Gary Payton, right? For unlimited, I'm pretty confident it's Gary Payton.
Gary,
Um,
yep, Gary
yeah,
Payton.
Gary Payton is one of my favorite 2K players, like in my team to play with of all time. As old as I am in real life, I don't really remember watching Gary Payton play as much back in the day. But I mean, I'm a big fan of the glove. He fits exactly what I'm looking for at the point guard, which is, a defense first, pass second, shoot third point guard. And I'm sure that Gary Payne's going to come with Hall of Fame pickpocket and everything that I want to have my point guard to be an absolute, pest.
Yep, Hall of Fame dimer, I assume, quick for his step, like all those great point guard
Yeah,
Hall of Fame things you need.
he's going to be amazing. And it's interesting because transitioning from unlimited, we don't know what they're going to do to limited. Probably they're going to leave it exactly the same. But you have another point guard, and I like the way they did it, where you have two different styles of point guards. You have John Morant, who I think is going to be incredibly viable
Oh,
if you know
more
what you're
point
doing.
guards.
I know, more point guards. The one thing I'll say in their defense, these are two pink diamond point guard rewards that you can earn from playing the game that are totally different, I think, in what you're going to get from them. One is going to, I mean, they can probably both
Completely,
hit
completely.
they can both shoot the three, but one of them is going to be absolute clamps on defense. The other one can get you a bucket whenever you need it. What is your interest level in grinding for this limited John Morant next season?
It's not that high. Like John Morant, great card. I think people who are going to, well, I'm gonna have to wait. I'm a dribble head on my team.
I
I'm
know
really
you are.
interested in knowing what his sigs are gonna be like. But if it's not something that's interesting, as weird as it might seem, I might even just go for the diamond contract because those are super valuable in this game. And I've been trying to snipe them recently to put them on my players, like Mello and all the other pink diamonds I know that are gonna be on the team for a while. So it's really just a wait and see. I mean, the Gary Payton, I'm for sure grinding. I cannot wait to have him on my team. I don't know about John Morant, but I guess we'll see. I think it is cool, though, like you said, two point guards, two completely different play styles, so it'll be exciting.
Yeah, I think it definitely will be. The one player that we did not mention who's a reward is the level 40 reward for season two, which is going to be Kevin Garnett. I'm not interested, and I will mention why momentarily. I'm sure it's pretty similar to why you're not interested, but Harry, I've kind of mentioned already. Why are you not interested for grinding for Kevin Garnett?
Okay, so I'm not really a Kevin Garnett fan. I'm gonna put it simple. He doesn't really fit
Shocker.
my place. I'm more of a three-pointer. I don't think he'll have that high of a three-pointer, so I don't really like that. And I'm gonna be honest. Although I don't like it, I'm gonna turn this negative into a positive because I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of hoping I wasn't going to be interested in grinding to level 40 because I don't want to do it again. I'm so thankful it is a card I don't want. I'm not going to feel jealous when other people get him. If you want a Kevin Garnett on your team, that's great. I'm sure you'll like him. Not interested, super happy I don't have to focus on it. If it was like a card like Curry or Clay, like a three-pointer, a three-point shooter that I need on the team, I don't even know. I don't know how I would do it, but I'm so happy I don't need to do this.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm not going to be grinding for KG because I can't have Melo and KG in the same lineup together
Yep, that is
after
also
the
true.
comments,
Yep.
right? Shout out to Lala Anthony. We got your back, girl. I'm not going to let KG, slander your name on, in my lineup. No, absolutely not. But the other reason why I'm not going to grind for him is because when they showed who the reward is going to be for completing Domination for the 75th anniversary Domination that we're going to be getting on Friday, it is Amari Stoudemire, which I think is hilarious. They have been just giving Knicks fans so
They
many
really
good
have
cards.
because I forgot to mention before, but another card I picked up was the Amethyst Porzingis,
Hmm.
and I could talk an hour about my feelings about Porzingis, and they're not all positive. But he's a Knicks guy. I love Porzingis. He's a three-point sniper. Had to get him on the team. So having him, Amari Stoudemire, Carmelo Anthony in the same starting five is going to be such a glorious moment.
Yeah, I mean, you could seriously, if you're good with them, you could run like a starting lineup with like Walt Frazier,
Oh yeah.
Landry Fields at the two, and Landry Fields has gold clamps. He's not a bad card. That primetime drop with Landry Fields and Emmanuel quickly was very good for budget players. But like a Walt Frazier, Landry Fields, Carmelo Anthony, Amari Stoudemire, and Kristaps Porzingis, like that is actually
And
a
think about
really
it,
good
later
starting
down the
five.
road, we'll probably get a Knicks like J.R. Smith. Like, I'm trying to think of more cool Knicks cards, but like a Patrick Ewing. Like, I think making, like, I know I don't know if you're still into this, but I remember back in the old 2Ks, you were big into making, or maybe this is a Madden thing. I know you're always big into making all-time teams, so
Yeah.
I'm definitely planning on making an all-time Knicks team.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I am too. I mean, and also just think about the current players we have right now, right? We have RJ, we have Randall. Fournier is
Quickly.
going to get a better card tomorrow. Of course, Emmanuel quickly, of course. But like, Fournier is going to possibly get an Amethyst tomorrow because Fournier has a
Yep,
Ruby
yep.
token reward.
Yeah, I was
Um,
gonna say even token reward Mitchell Robinson.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And speaking of token rewards, because I don't really want to talk about domination too much more, we have player coaches coming. I know you don't like it because of the realism. I kind of want to see what they are before I judge them. I'm just curious. The only reason I like player coaches before I move on to the token rewards is because of the possibility that coach prices will drop in value. Because if I were to go and look right now, I'm pretty sure coaches are still very expensive. Like I'm pretty sure diamond coaches are like 100K. Yeah, like close to it. Like Monty Williams is still 94K.
Really, I
Quinn
didn't even
Snyder's
know that.
100K. Yeah, it's a total mess. Like my coach is still Steve Kerr because I'm cheap and I haven't really
Trust
played
me, I think
online.
I have like a gold coach right now, so I'm even worse.
Yeah, so it's a struggle. So for that reason, like domination, I'm looking forward to playing it, and I'm looking forward to the Amari and the player coaches for that reason. The token rewards. Um, I need to see if I have it. I know we're gonna get a pink diamond Chris Mullen, which
Yep,
I
yep.
think is super interesting. I personally still want to save my tokens for the Galaxy Opal tier, but I mean, a pink diamond Chris Mullen is pretty interesting. And I think besides that, we're getting diamond Bingo Smith, amethyst Trez Harrell, and then we're getting a ruby Cole Anthony. That ruby Cole Anthony could be sneaky good.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were leading into me.
I'm gonna go. No, you go ahead.
No, I think it's cool. A part of me wishes they put more token players in it to make the season feel a little bit more fresh. But yeah, like you said, I'm really stoked about that Chris Mullin. If there was a card that fits my playstyle, it would be Mullin. I mean, I'm not really not excited. I'm excited for the Galaxy Opal tiers on token rewards, but I'm not like I'm patient enough where I think I can wait longer. Like I think I will go for that Mullin. I think even if it does like make me lose all my tokens, because I think he'll be a fun card to use on the team.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think they'll be fun to use. And then on top of that, we're also getting something that I love, which are dynamic duos. I enjoy playing with them because I even though I have a pretty respectable starting lineup, which I'll put on the screen right here. I like to use dynamic duos in triple threat offline because just like with Evos, they match up against CPU players that are similar in ratings to the original non-boosted ratings of your players, so it kind of helps with the matchmaking in that regard. And I just think they're really fun to mess around with. I think it's a lot of fun. And then we're getting the new, I guess, the new Series 22 players for the upcoming NBA season, which is already tipped off. And I think they said it's going to include a diamond LeBron, Giannis, KD, and Steph. So we're already getting a duplicate diamond LeBron. We already
Yep.
technically have two because you have the signature and the non-signed signature version. The only difference is the Hall of Fame diamond. It doesn't really matter, but that's going to be interesting, I guess. I'm curious to see what the diamond Giannis looks like. I know that Katie's going to be super popular. I know you're going to want a gun for that Steph. Um,
Oh yeah, and Katie.
yeah, I mean the Katie's great. Katie's great every year in my team. I can't wait to see what they're gonna look like. I'm personally very happy that they're not pink diamonds. That was my big concern, is that we were gonna
Yep.
get these current players that have, you know, that are pink diamonds when they really should just be diamonds. Like the best tier we had of the current base set were Amis. I like the progression in that regard. Now they're diamonds, and let's just leave it um, at that. I guess, when it comes to the ratings. Any thoughts on the diamond players that we're getting with the new current set?
Yeah, I mean, similar to you, I am so thankful they are not pink diamonds. I cannot stress enough. I think this is I don't know that I still don't understand the logic of doing that, yet adding a pink diamond Lake or Westbrook. But regardless, I'm happy. I think I would have preferred if they would have taken a step back and made them amethyst, but the way they've progressed, tiers, it wouldn't have made sense. But I guess it's on 2K. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. But regardless, if I'm gonna take that away, I'm excited. The KD is gonna be really fun. I'm going for that Curry. I don't care if I have to spend all my MT. That
Oh my
Curry's coming
God.
home to New York City.
That's
So I'm really excited.
that's right. So when we have episode 4 in like a couple of weeks, and Harry's talking about how he's broke, just you gotta just timestamp this at 47 minutes. Harry said that he's gonna spend all of his money on Diamond Curry. So
Yeah,
we
I
gotta
mean,
wait till
listen,
we
if
get
you
that.
guys want to donate me some MT so I cannot be broke after I buy Curry, it would be appreciated. You can hit me up on any of my social platforms, and that's about it.
There you go. That's right. Which I will link in the title card or the description below. I don't know if there's anything else that I had to hit on. The grand prize for the Ascension board, I think for season 2 is going to be Karan Butler, which could be a really interesting small forward, power forward, wherever they want to position him at. And as I mentioned for the draft, it's going to be George Gervin. I am not very interested in Gervin. I think he's going to be kind of like ML Carr, which is a really good defensive wing that has a very poor 3-point rating, and I'm just not that interested in that. But besides that, I think that's basically everything for season 2. I think we both agree that the season 2 update looks to be pretty good. It looks like they fixed a couple of things that maybe they shouldn't have included in season 1, like the 100 and you eating points when you win a game, and unlimited requiring 12 and 0 to be a thing. Um, Anything else you want to add, Harry, before we close up shop?
Yeah, no, I guess to put more of an emphasis, like despite my criticism, but I feel this is not to, bash 2K. As you know, I want the game to be better, and I'm really happy with where the game is now, despite what I feel about the packs. And there's always going to be things you don't like about a game, but it's how you adapt to it. It's how you become, a better 2K player because of all the stuff that 2K will throw at you. And, like I said, I'm really happy with the game. Super happy with the Season 2 improvements like Unlimited, which is something I've been asking for since 2K19. Triple Threat, really glad they're fixing a mistake that they made on their behalf. Token rewards are cool. Really excited for the new rewards. One more thing I forgot to mention was I think it's awesome that they're adding an all-time domination now and they waited because I mentioned it to Jan before, but I think there's already enough to grind in Season 1. So I think it's great that I think the all-time reward, it's great that it's a Pink Diamond Amari now, but for all we know, it could have been a lot worse in Season 1 due to the pacing of cards coming out. So I think that what they did was great, because I remember last year, I didn't really play much at 2K, but I know for a fact that I don't even think they added an all-time, or not an all-time, another domination aside from current, historic, and all-time until Season 3. So I kind of prefer it this way with how they've done the pacing. But yeah, that's besides it. I'm sure we're ending this soon, so I wanted to say again, thank you for having me on the podcast. I have so much fun. Jan and I, we always like to talk about 2K, so it's great that we can do it on a platform like YouTube. So again, thank you for having me. I don't know when the next time we'll talk is. I'm sure at some point in Season 2, I'll be bashing the packs. Well, there's probably going to be a Galaxy Opal like Bull the next time we talk. Or but I guess we'll see. Yeah, thank you again for having me.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think in general, to answer your question, I don't really know when, obviously. I think having one at the end slash beginning of every season is great because we can treat it as a recap and a teaser for the previous season and the upcoming season, respectively. And I do think that if we treat this maybe as like this is like our grand show at the end of every season where we spend like an hour or 50 minutes or so talking about whatever we want to talk about. And then if we do smaller pods here and there where maybe we just talk about something that happens in the game, like maybe something big drops, whether it is the first Galaxy Opal drop or there's something controversial that happens, just to kind of give our hot take on what's happening, and those can be shorter pods. I'm totally cool with that. You know, maybe we could do like a prediction podcast if there's like a big promo that's coming up that they tease like in advance, because 2K shown us like even though it was a flop in my opinion with the limited edition promo, they teased that like a day or two in advance. If we get a more extended teaser from 2K, it would be fun. Even if it's just like 2 days, you and I are free that night. We hop into a pod and we talk about what it could be. You know, just saying. I think
Yeah,
that's a
and
really cool
honestly, to
idea.
add one more thing, I
Yeah.
think the both of us are also super into moments cards. So listen, even if a player goes off in real life, I think it would be also cool if we did like a short podcast hyping up a possible moments card coming out. Because now that the NBA is back, my excitement for my team has like even gone up. Now that no, because we're super big into NBA, so now knowing that I could be watching a future moments card coming out before my eyes, I think it's such an awesome 2K feature, and I'm really excited now that the NBA is progressing.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm also like you. I'm very excited. It always helps when your team wins on opening night for them, but uh, I think that we can look forward to Evan Fournier hopefully getting an amethyst maybe as soon as tomorrow. Because I think we had a Ruby Bielitsa come out today from the Warriors win last night. And I'm hopeful that we'll get this because I mean, like Mike Breen said in the broadcast today, this is the Knicks game I'm talking about. Probably one of
I
the
was like, how
greatest.
are we bringing him into this My
I
Team
know.
podcast?
I mean, why would we not bring the goat of the Bang into this podcast? He mentioned in one of the overtimes that we played tonight that this is arguably, or not arguably, but probably one of the better, if not the best first games of the regular season that we've had in quite some time. And I think it's true. I mean, sure, is it kind of like in a vacuum? This is all I can really like think of when it comes to opening games. But yeah, this was a very exciting game. I think we'll hopefully get, a good moments card out of it for the Knicks, and maybe Jalen Brown does get a card, even though they lost. Um, you know, I am eager to see how they treat moments cards, and we'll have to see. I kind of want to comment on that maybe in a few weeks. Maybe we'll touch base. They did just add moments packs moments players to the primetime packs. So I'm curious to see how they treat moments cards, and maybe we come back to this in a future pod and we talk about it. But yeah, I think that's all we have. Hope you guys enjoyed. Harry, once again, thank you so much for freeing up time to hang out and give your 2 cents on season one and season two as well. And hopefully, we both continue to have a really good time with my team as we head into season two in about 36 hours. So yeah, Harry, thank you. I appreciate it, man.